Okie dokie, folks. So our first little video here for probability, just a quick little introduction. For a lot of you, it's probably going to be a review. If anything, this new stuff might just be this fancy vocab here. But again, you probably already know this. We're just adding the vocab to formalize it a little bit. Okay, so every kind of problem, we'll just assume is this thing called a quote-unquote random experiment. Right here. All that means is that you don't already know what's going to happen. Alrighty? Hence random. Alrighty? And again, in this example down here below, I'll emphasize what each of the things is in using the vocab, okay? So you do a random experiment. The thing that happens is an outcome. An example, you roll a die. That's the experiment, is rolling the die. You don't know what's going to happen. That's why it's random. And suppose the outcome is, it shows a 1 on the die. That 1 is the outcome. An event is a particular set of outcomes. It's generally, the way you want to think of it is that the event is the set of outcomes that you're actually interested in. So you could think of, maybe a question would be, if you roll 2 dice, what's the probability that the total is 7, right? There's a number of ways that you could roll 2 dice and get a 7, right? You could roll a 1 and a 6, a 3 and a 4, a 5 and a 2, and so on, right? So that, the total value being 7 would be the event that you're interested in. And then the set of all the outcomes is the sample space. So what could possibly happen? How many options could possibly happen? That's the sample space. If you roll 2 dice, there's 36 options. I'm sure I would assume you might have done that before in a previous class where you roll 2 dice and just think about what could possibly happen, right? And instead of rolling 2 6-sided dice, you'll get 36 possibilities. Alrighty? In either case, the probability of something happening, right? The probability of your event that you are interested in is however many times that your event could happen, that's the number of outcomes, divided by the number of things in the sample space. So for example, suppose you want, what's the probability of rolling snake eyes on 2 dice, right? So the only possible way to roll a 1 and a 1 on 2 dice is to roll a 1 and a 1, right? There's only one possibility. There are 36 possible ways you could roll 2 dice, and then the outcome is, well, there's 36 different outcomes, and so the probability of rolling a 1 and a 1 is 1 out of 36. Let's take a look at an actual example down here. In this little baggie here, which now that I look at it looks kind of like a water balloon, but it serves the purpose. It has 5 purple marbles and 3 red ones. Suppose you draw a marble blindly, as in you don't look inside. So this right here, drawing the marble, that is our random experiment. We'll just assume that all these experiments that we look at in these problems are random, because it kind of defeats the purpose if it's not random, right? Okay. So very simple example right here. What's the probability of drawing a red marble? And then similarly, what's the probability of drawing a purple one? We'll just look at the 1, of course. So the way I would kind of write this is I would write P of, so this is the event that we're looking at, the event that we are interested in, is drawing a red marble. So I'll say probability of drawing a red marble is, so the number of outcomes in the event. So I'm going to actually write this all out here. Is another way to say a number of outcomes is, I like to think of it just the number of ways to do something. Number of ways to draw a red one divided by the number of ways to draw. And so in this case, our random experiment is straight up just drawing a marble out of the bag. Excuse me. So I'm going to write that down here. Number of ways to draw a marble. And that's all it is. And then at this point, you just got to count them up, really. So, I'll copy this on here. Drawing a red is, well, the number of ways to draw a red one. So again, you're just drawing one. How many ways can you do that? Well, you could reach in and you could draw that one, or you could reach in and grab that one, or you could reach in and grab that one, right? There's only 3 ways that you could possibly succeed in this event, right? It's to draw a red one, and there's the 1, 2, 3 ways. So that's why that's 3 there. If we think about all the number of ways to draw just any marble, well, there's the 3 red ones, but of course there are also the 5 purple ones. And so in this case, there's going to be 8 possibilities because there's 8 marbles in total. And that's all it is right there. Likewise, the probability of drawing a purple would just be the number of ways to draw a purple one in this case, which would be 5. And it's the same bag, so there's 5 purple ones to draw, but we count how many there are total. There's still 8, and so it would just be 5/8 will be a probability of drawing a purple one. Okie dokie. So again, that was probably familiar to a lot of you. It's just a little refresher. The next video will make the situation a little bit more interesting by seeing what happens if you draw 2 marbles, and so on like that.